What is up, folks? This is Addy Ads. I got a press release that I wanted to share from VoterGA. Garland Favorito sent it to me today uh, over in Atlanta, Georgia, Roswell, Georgia area. And they had a press conference, VoterGA did, and I wanted to share that one and then their previous release as well. VoterGA called on the Georgia General Assembly today to immediately ban Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger's efforts to outsource the Georgia voter registration system into an internet cloud. The Secretary of State selected a Salesforce platform and little known MTX as the implementation partner in a secret no-bid contract that has been well underway for some time. The initiative would move the voter registration system outside of his control, where it is vulnerable to cyber attack and left in the hands of third-party vendors whose employees are not sworn to uphold the Georgia Constitution. Pertaining to cloud computing security issues, VoterGA explained in their press conference today a variety of serious, well-known security issues inherent in cloud-based computing, thus rendering it as an unsuitable platform for mission-critical Georgia election data. They also showed a class action lawsuit against Salesforce, which is based in San Francisco, California, alleging that its Commerce Cloud became infected with malware. The malware acquired personal identifying information (PII) for some 20,000 customers. It was later found for sale on the dark web, and the suit further alleged that Salesforce did not release a vulnerabilities and exposures report, nor did they make any notifications of the breach. Salesforce's partisan flawed partnerships were also touched on as well, and this is actually here, let me do this. I have the other one showing up here on screen. But as far as their partnerships, the press conference pointed out the fallacy of giving control of mission critical systems to third parties. Salesforce is based on Amazon Web Services, which in 2020 deplatformed Parler, or maybe it's 2021 rather, just as they gained significant market share and became a threat to larger social media platforms. VoterGA also showed how Salesforce and its president, Mark Benioff, are political partisans who publicly opposed legislative election integrity initiatives, including Senate Bill 202, which is seeking or was seeking to curb the unsolicited requests of absentee ballots. The bill made ballot images public record, so election results could be better verified. Benioff, who does not live in Georgia, even made a false claim that a Senate Bill 202 predecessor would eliminate provisional ballots. Further, Salesforce also partnered with Stacey Abrams' New Georgia project in partisan voter registration efforts. As far as MTX's inexperienced offshore operation details, VoterGA research determined that MTX is a 4-year-old India-based company with no election experience. Their employee list shows only 3 employees in America and just 1 in the state of Georgia. Workers use their own personal computers and email addresses on a no-bid Texas contact tracing system that was criticized by a legislature as one fumble after another. Pertaining to subscription pricing control inadequacy, in addition, VoterGA explained how Salesforce, a SaaS application, subjects the state of Georgia to potentially uncontrollable subscription pricing, as opposed to more stable fixed pricing that is the norm for in-house developed systems, as opposed to being outsourced. SaaS standing for software as a service. VoterGA co-founder Garland Favorito stated that there is no technical or business reason to subject Georgia voters to these kinds of severe risks. The General Assembly must stop this insanity prior to implementation to avoid permanent damage to our elections. The code's change Changes that are necessary to protect Georgia voters are simple and easy to make, end quote. And that's again from Garland Favorito. And the prior release I wanted to touch on actually also mentions the Secretary of State for Georgia, Brad Raffensperger, with VoterGA refuting on the 9th of this month Raffensperger's letter to members of Congress, releasing, this is Atlanta, Georgia, a 42-point report refuting Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger's 10-page letter to the Georgia congressional members and the Georgia General Assembly. The report contends the letter contained false information and was inconsistent with the Georgia General Assembly findings. The letter, sent on January 6, 2021, claimed that then President Donald J. Trump and his attorneys made false statements about the integrity of Georgia's 2020 presidential election. Details in the VoterGA report are based on original General Assembly testimony from December of 2020 and new corroborating information revealed during the last year through additional legal evidence made available through court cases, the General Assembly's passage of a new law making ballot images public, Georgia open records requests that have either been fulfilled or denied, extensive independent research as well that has been conducted into the election. The report cites several false or deceptive statements in each section of Secretary Raffensperger's original letter, including allegations involving Dominion voting machines, absentee ballots, poll watcher accessibility, ineligible voters voting. The 17-page VoterGA report and response also contains dozens of references to source documents that support its conclusions, including affidavits, studies, hearing testimony, videos, and a variety of other investigative research regarding the November 2020 election. These reports this report in particular, as well as the press conference, were presented by Garland Favorito, Bob Couvert, and Brian Giles during a 10 a.m. VoterGA press conference held in Roswell. Legislators, county election officials, and the Secretary of State were invited to attend in person or online and encouraged to ask questions. Garland Favorito, as he does, left us with a quote saying, "We must have an undistorted, precise understanding of facts about improprieties of the November 2020 election to make changes necessary to ensure the integrity of the 2022 elections. VoterGA is a nonpartisan 501c3 registered nonprofit organization created by a coalition of citizens working to restore election integrity in Georgia, advocating for independently verifiable, auditable, recount capable, and transparent elections." Their website can be found at voterga.com. Media contact Cheryl Sellaway, Cheryl at righteouspragency.com. Otherwise, you can reach her at 404-695-5564. But another press release from the Georgia-based Election Integrity Group, the founder or co-founder who I interviewed last month, if people want to check that out. And that is the report there. I'm going to do I'm finishing up a write-up on it right now, which is going to be on Substack and more than likely the rundown live as well. Stay frosty, folks. Links in the description to support if you would be so generous. Share this video, like, and try to migrate to Rockfin if you can. Follow me on Twitter, and Telegram is a great readout in case we get separated. Stay frosty.